Commander Gentle of the Biafran Liberation Army affirms he is a freedom fighter and broadcaster, committed to telling the truth, regardless of threats to his life. He states that his life is protected by Chukwu Okike Abiyama, God, and not in the hands of his enemies, dismissing threats from people like Ikenga Uruagu. Commander Gentle reintroduces himself as Major General Gentle, commander of the 3rd Division of the Biafran Liberation Army, operating under General Igwe Butuzor. He claims that the Biafran Defense Forces, BDF, were formed to defend Biafra land from external threats, especially Islamic terror groups like Boko Haram and Fulani militants. According to him, the Nigerian government is allegedly collaborating with these terror groups to oppress and Islamize the predominantly Christian Biafran population. Commander Gentle accuses Hope Uzodinma, Imo state governor, of attempting to assassinate him and calls for international investigations into Hope Uzodinma's actions. He condemns leaders and elites in the region who have allegedly taken bribes and betrayed the Biafran cause, saying they will face shame and judgment. Commander Gentle declares that Biafra has existed for over 500 years and is not part of Nigeria, warning outsiders not to interfere in Biafran land. He identifies as a Jew practicing Judaism, rejecting Christian pacifism, and declaring a philosophy of retaliating strongly against any harm. He ends by asserting his survival, dedication to Biafra, and warning to those who have conspired against him, promising that corrupt leaders will ultimately fall in disgrace. On the 3rd day of May in the year 2025, a man known as Major General Gentle, the commander of the 3rd Division of the Biafran Liberation Army, stepped forward to respond to the growing threats and accusations against him. In a powerful and emotionally charged message, he addressed his followers, critics, and enemies through a recorded broadcast on his channel. This was not just a routine statement. This was, as he framed it, a declaration of truth, resistance, and spiritual defiance against forces he believes are working to destroy the dream of Biafra. The voice of Major General Gentle, also known by the nickname Gentle Yahoo or Zoku, carried more than just anger. It carried the weight of history, the pain of betrayal, the intensity of conflict, and a deep conviction rooted in both spiritual belief and political purpose. His words were passionate and sometimes raw, filled with emotion and repetition, as if he was speaking not only to the public, but to forces far beyond his immediate audience. In the opening of his message, Major General Gentle reaffirmed what he called his life's mission. He described himself not only as a fighter for freedom, but also as a broadcaster dedicated to telling the truth. He explained that despite the dangers he faces and the death threats he receives, he refuses to back down because he believes his life is protected by a higher spiritual force. He identified this divine protector as Chukwu Okike Abiyama, which translates in English to God the Creator. In his words, his life does not belong to his enemies. No one on earth, he said, could end his life unless Chukwu Okike Abiyama allows it. With this, he dismissed the threats against him, especially from individuals such as Ikenga Uruagu, who has openly wished him dead. He made it clear that the only people he considers enemies are those who claim he is their enemy. In his mind, he has done nothing to deserve their hatred except to tell the truth. He explained that his work as a truth-teller and freedom fighter makes him a target, but he accepts that risk because he believes he is doing the right thing. This belief in the righteousness of his cause gives him courage, and it is also what makes him continue to speak out, even when doing so might place him in danger. Reintroducing himself formally, he reminded everyone that he is Major General Gentle, commander of the 3rd Division of the Biafran Liberation Army. This division is located in Oki, and he serves directly under the leadership of General Igwe Butuzor, who holds the position of Chief of Defense Staff for the Biafran Defense Forces. In explaining the organizational structure, he highlighted that the Biafran Defense Forces include not only the Biafran Liberation Army, but also the Biafran Resistance Fighters and the Biafran Navy. These groups, according to him, are united under a single military command that answers only to the people and to General Igwe Butuzor, not to any politician or external force. He described the creation of the Biafran Defense Forces as a necessary step to protect Biafra land, a territory that he and many of his followers believe is under siege. In his words, Nigeria is not simply a failed state, it is an active threat, one that collaborates with terror organizations like Boko Haram, Fulani militants, and other jihadist groups. He accused the Nigerian government of using these groups to carry out a campaign of terror, land seizure, religious oppression, and even organ harvesting in the Biafran region, which is home to a population that is overwhelmingly Christian. This accusation, although extreme, reflects a sentiment shared by many within the Biafran independence movement. They believe that the federal government of Nigeria, which is majority Muslim in its northern regions, is working deliberately to weaken and suppress the southeast of Nigeria, where the people are predominantly Christian and where the historical territory of Biafra lies. According to Major General Gentle, these actions amount to a silent war against his people, and that war, in his view, justifies the creation and operation of the Biafran Defense Forces as a form of self-defense. He did not stop at accusing the federal government. He turned his attention toward individuals he claimed had betrayed the Biafran cause from within. One of the main targets of his criticism was Hope Uzodinma, the current governor of Imo State. Major General Gentle accused Hope Uzodinma of not only collaborating with the Nigerian government, but also allegedly plotting to assassinate him. He called on the international community to launch an investigation into the actions of Governor Hope Uzodinma, whom he repeatedly referred to as an evil man. According to the commander, this assassination plot failed only because he was protected by divine forces, the God of Biafra and the spirits of the Biafran ancestors. He portrayed himself as a man who has survived against overwhelming odds, even claiming metaphorically that he had died and risen again. By saying this, he was not necessarily referring to a literal death and resurrection, but to the many attempts that have been made to destroy him and how he has overcome them. He credited his survival to Chukwu Okike Abiyama, the same divine figure he called on earlier. His tone here shifted from one of anger to spiritual reassurance, repeating that his life is not controlled by any human politician or military force. In one of the most emotionally charged sections of the speech, Major General Gentle condemned what he described as betrayal by leaders in the southeast, who, in his words, have sold themselves to the enemies of Biafra for bribes and personal gain. He accused these leaders of aligning themselves with the Fulani jihadists, claiming that they had accepted money and promises of power in exchange for their silence or support for the oppression of their own people. According to him, these bribes had now become a curse, and the same money they accepted would either be returned or would lead to their destruction. He made repeated warnings to these politicians, especially governors and other elites in the region, telling them that their betrayal would not go unpunished. He prophesied that they would all end up in shame. While he did not name all of them, it was clear from his language that he believed there was a widespread conspiracy among the political class to suppress the Biafran independence movement in exchange for favors from the central government.
I am a freedom fighter. I am a broadcaster and I must keep on telling the truth. I believe that by the special grace of Chukwokika, no man on this earth can touch my life, because my life is not in the hands of my enemies. It's not in the hands of those that cause themselves my enemies. I have no any enemies. The only enemies I have is those that are referring themselves as if that I'm their enemies. I am only telling the truth. Yeah, good day, concessions word. I wish you set the record straight. My name is Major General Janto, Commander of the 3rd Div of Biafra Liberation Army. In Okigwe, serving under the leadership of Defense Staff General Igwe Butozo. Since the formation of the Biafran Defense Forces, BDF, which encompasses the Biafra Liberation Army, Biafran Resistance Fighter, and Biafra Navy, will have operated solemnly under the authorities of our own ranks, regardless of an individual status or role in the broader Biafran struggle for independence. We take orders executively from the people, General Igwe Butozo, and no one else. The Biafran Defense Forces emerged as a necessity, tasked with defending Biafran land from invaders and the terrorist organization that operates unchecked within Nigeria. This include the Islamic State of Iraq, Syrian, ISIS, the Islamic State West African Province, Swamp, Boko Haram, Fulani Herdsmen, Al-Qaeda, and others will also stand against the forces Islamization of our own land by Islamic jihadists who targeted Christian born churches and oppress Biafran's population. That is 90% Christian, all under the cover of the Nigerian Islamic State. This terrorist group are frequently reintegrated into the Nigerian military and deployed to Biafra land for Sanisa purposes, include organ harvesting and land grabbing. The Biafran Defense Forces exist to protect our people.
Na nwere onye bodo ọbụla ga-apụta wee napụwuo ha ọrụ na ha na-edefend anyị, maka na ndị Fulani herdsmen na-abịa, maka na ndị chọrọ ka ha tọọ n'obodo a into Islamize this country na-abịa. So you know all these things niile Gentle wee na-akọwa that na mgba niile a na-agba ha na ihe niile a na-eme bụ n'efu ka ọ bụ na ha nọrọgo bụ na ha nọrọgo n'Ọkigwe and na ha ga-protect the Biafran land. Wee na-akọwakwa na ndị niile bụ ndị na-achụ ha ọchụchụ na ndị niile bụ ndị na-achụgharị ha na ike ya agwụrịrị ha nche niile na ha ma enwetakwafa that they are not going to get them or yet that they are doing the divine work of the Almighty God. So guys, him talk say people love him so much.
It's clear to our own people that hope need to integrate and to investigate. Let the international community investigate hope very well. And the hope need to go to the courts. Hope is an evil man. I said it and I am still repeating it. That hope is an evil man. He has planned a way to kill Nnamdi Kanu, but thank God today it doesn't work out. The God of Biafra land and the God of our ancestors, our ancestors are there alive and are ready to witness what is happening, and they are there to protect and cover the people of Biafra. I am only fighting for the freedom of our nation. I am a freedom fighter. I am a broadcaster. And I must keep on telling the truth. I believe that by the special grace of Chukwu Okike Abiama, no man on this earth can touch my life. Because my life is not in the hands of my enemies. It's not in the hands of those that cause themselves my enemies. I have no any enemies. The only enemies I have is those that are referring themselves as if that I'm their enemies. I am only telling the truth. And I must keep on telling the truth. This is aka Gentle the Yahoo. I have died and resurrected. And no man on earth can terminate with my life. My life is in the hands of Chukwu Okike Abiama. My life is not in the hands of Hope Uzodimma and the rest of all those Igbo leaders that call themselves Igbo leaders that doesn't even care for the people that they are ruling. That doesn't value human's life because they have sold their life to the devil. They have sold their life, or they have already sold their life to our enemies, Fulanis, jihadis. Yes, I said it and I make it openly, and I must make it openly.
And the people that loves him are more than the people that hate him. Or more, guys, let us interact in our comment section. Please watch this video to the end of it so that you will understand exactly what Gentle the Yahoo meant in this video. We all love you. Bye.
They have already collected money, and I said it out with that number. You see all those money that you people collected? Those money have now hooked you people. And you must to pay back the money, or the money must take your life. You must to pay back. Yes, that is all I have to say. Yeah, that is all I have to say. Today, umunna, umunne, no umunna. Tatokwa, 3rd of May, I am alive today. My life is not in the hands of my enemies, and they can never guide me. I'm a Biafran. I am a Biafra, and I am always remaining a Biafra. Hope Uzodimma, shame to you. You see the kind of atrocities and calamities you have been committing. You have been moving around all the whole southeast, bombarding people's houses, killing innocent Biafrans, and you are happy because of Fulani jihadis gives you an assignment so that they can be able to actualize their mindset, so that they can be able to actualize their Islamic in our own land. Biafra land does not belong to Fulani jihadis. And let me tell you, Fulanis, even if your grandfather have bought a Nigeria, they bought a Nigeria, not a Biafrans. Biafra is a nation that was existing for over 500 and something years now. Biafra does not belong to Nigeria, and we are not in Nigeria. Fight for Nigeria all alone. Do not tamper with Biafrans. If you do tamper with Biafrans, I will tell you that I am Gentle the Yahoo. Is not a Christian. I am not a Christian. That they deceived by this word. If they slap you with this one, you turn the other one, they will slap you too. No, it can never happen. I'm a Jewish. I am a Judaism. I believe if you do me one, I gonna do you two. I gonna do you three. I gonna do you four. I gonna do you five. Thunder fire you, fire your generation. Who is you? Who are you being the Fulanis? Thunder fire you, fire your generation. Thunder fire you there. Tamper with Biafrans, you see what you will collect. You will collect water. You will collect water, and you must collect water. Thunder fire you, fire all those governors. All those instant governors that you have been using. You are bribed. Do you people think that you can bribe me? Hope you cannot bribe me. You ask me all sorts of things. You ask me a way that you used to buy a more tanker for me and all that, so that I will become like a second Obu. Now where is Obu? In also our mama and our. Where is Obu? Obu is no more. Fuck you people there. You gonna be a ratty boy. Mambo Clark, you gonna be a ratty boy. Fuck you there. I am a rascal boy in Biafra nation. I love my nation, I love my people, and my people love me. Those that doesn't love me is those that have collected bribe. I know there's no way they will love me. And the mapu begilon and if in a man ne bido begi. Hope Tonda Babuogi, the Arab Babuogi. Tonda Babuogi la Eastern governors. You will end up in shame. I promise you this. You want to end up in shame. Arab Babuogi there. This is 3rd of May 2025. I am alive. Plan away. Plan on.
This is the end of our news update. Please click the icon on the top right corner of your screen to watch my next video. You will enjoy it. I will see you again in my next update. Enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye for now.